But there is a glitch in the original Famicom and Origins release that lets you rapidly build your stats by simply selecting an enemy with the thing you want to level up, and then canceling the action, and then doing the action again, and then repeating ad nauseum. You keep doing this and you'll be building those stats much faster than intended, but let's face it, that's still 10 minutes of watching your characters go forward and back, and then forward and back, and then go forward and back, then put 1 foot forward. I don't know, man, it just feels broken. I can't say this for myself, but I hear the version on Origins and Dawn of Souls makes the grind less tedious. But if Clement's video on this subject is anything to go by, maybe not that much. There's still the overly long dungeons, the high encounter rate, the fake rooms, and the copious amounts of forward and back, and then forward and back, and then go forward and back, and put 1 foot forward. Plus, I got some updates heading your way. It's gonna put things on hold for just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. Get all the deets then and there. As always, thank you all for watching. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask if you decide to go outside, get vaccinated if it's possible. Have yourselves a fantastic night, and take care. Did I do this salute twice? I don't know. It's getting kind of hard to, remember this whole sign off, especially with, it seems to get longer the more videos I do. Have a good night. The SAX is terrifying in concept and execution, but it's also incredibly dumb at times. It never gets the idea to check behind this wall no matter how much noise you make. What was that? What was that? What was that? It's no stranger to running loops back and forth, forward and back, and then forward and back, and then go forward and back, then put 1 foot forward. It's not perfect, but even still, you don't want to mess around too much with it, because towards endgame, this asshole still hits like a goddamn semi. If you really want to, you can just revisit the first stage and spam the smaller enemies until your weapons are maxed out, because you get experience from just using the weapon. It doesn't matter what type of enemy you kill. And since I'm the kind of person that gladly takes advantage of that kind of shit at his earliest possible convenience, the first half an hour of my Zero experience was me doing a whole bunch of forward and back, and then forward and back, and then go forward and back, then put 1 foot forward. Ooh yeah, my weapons are maxed out and now I can do 3-hit combos with everything. In fact, the one thing I'll say now, before I even get into the nitty gritty of how this game works, is that if you're thinking of playing Final Fantasy VIII, if you haven't already, and you try and play it like any other old school Final Fantasy around this time, you are in for a rough time. You know what? It's kind of like the original Final Fantasy II. And not in terms of hitting yourself with the stupid back row shit or the forward and back, and then forward and back, and then go forward and back, then put 1 foot forward. Fun fact, you can get this guy as a proper summon later on, and it's the most fucking ridiculous summoning animation that only hits once, so nice of the round this guy ain't. But this thing turns out to be a fucking transformer that's design calls back to Cruise Chaser Blasty, one of Square's earliest games in the Famicom. The design was then later brought back in Final Fantasy XIV, with the Cruise Chaser enemy going full circle with the reference, or should I say forward and back, and then forward and back, and then go forward and back, then put 1 foot forward. Fuck, that song is annoyingly catchy, isn't it?